Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your district.
Well, my district is Coon Rapids and Andover, 12 precincts in Coon Rapids, 1 in Andover. I pretty much grew up, spent my whole life in Coon Rapids actually, in my district, which makes it especially an honor to represent that community. I went to Hamilton Elementary, Coon Rapids Middle School, Coon Rapids High School. Actually went to Anoka Ramsey Community College after that, so played youth athletics, was captain of my high school varsity baseball team, so very strong connection to the community. Actually, my wife also went to Coon Rapids High School, was captain of the basketball team. My in-laws and both of our parents live in the city, so definitely a hometown representative, and I think it makes it all the more special, I guess.
And what led you to run for state representative? Well,
I think that connection to the community definitely made me more passionate about the issues that affect my community. I've always been involved in the political process, actually since I was 18, since I could vote. Been volunteering in various local campaigns. There was a gentleman that was kind of a unanimous person that was going to get the endorsement. He dropped out about 3 weeks prior to caucus. I had made a full-time commitment to him as his campaign manager, and my VPOU chairman and another individual approached me and asked me, and me, actually I was getting married in April, and we hadn't moved in yet. We just bought a house. So I had told him no originally, and then he called me back a couple weeks later. A week before caucus, I made the decision and showed up on caucus night, and the rest is history.
If you could offer up the first bill of the session, what would it be?
I would like to see a pay decrease for the legislature. I think if we're going to come in and talk about fiscal responsibility, I think I'd like to see our caucus reduce our staff budget by 10%. I'd like to see a 5% reduction in legislature pay, salary, and per diem. So I think leadership is important, and you need to get buy-in from people, and leadership by example is the way to do that.
When the end of session rolls around in May, what will determine whether or not you have been a successful legislator?
I think you know, my biggest concern right out of the gate is to learn kind of the institutional part of it, to learn how to be an effective legislator. So I mean, learning all of those things that I need to know to be effective. But I think if I'm part of a group that can put together a budget plan that keeps the taxpayers' interest the first priority and do it with existing revenue, I think that's a successful session.
If you could sit down and have a conversation with anyone living or deceased, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
I would like to talk to Margaret Thatcher because I think she really carried the mantle of conservatism in an area of the world, Western Europe, which was way ahead in terms of the democratic socialist type movement, and she still managed to be very popular, became an icon of the movement, and I'd just like to pick her brain, you know, about what that experience was like, and still managing to be successful in a fairly liberal part of the world.
Well, I've reached the end of my questions. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about, or something that you would like to add?
I'd like to say again, it's the honor of my lifetime to represent the community that I grew up in.
Well, thank you for sitting and talking with us.
Yeah, thank you.